Friday, and so we're going to kind of mix it up just a little bit because I like to do mix on Friday, just so that we can kind of conquer whatever kind of beast is within you, back, neck, knees, shoulders, and so on. So we're going to start today with a just a baseline. So we're going to do the same kind of workout what we've been doing, but we're going to just kind of add some more mobility to it, so you can really just see how mobility can change movement, not just, and also can strengthen movement and or allow movement to get better. And which you guys all know, but at the same time, it is a difficulty, or it is a factor in our movement that it can be difficult to know when things start falling apart. So anyways, so let's just start with a baseline. Take your arms up and over your head, or you can drop down to touch your toes. You could do a push-up if you wanted to, just something that can you can retest. You can even rotate and just kind of see how the rotation is, as long as you know where your rotation pattern goes to. So you don't want to do something too complicated that feels like, I don't know if I did it again the right way. You want to always find that right pattern, that right path. So good. So you're always going to go back to this as your baseline, not the next baselines that come up, but you want to see where you're at now, and then you're going to measure it up to this here. So anyway, so let's go ahead and we'll just start with a nice easy warm up. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Go ahead and tap the knees. Good, a couple more, right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee. You've got about 10. Karen's walking all around her room, 9. You got 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and come all the way down to the ground, hands and knees, and let's just do a knees rocking. So we're just gonna start out with that nice even rocking. I want that head and chest up, and then your mouth closed with the tongue against the roof of your mouth, and just shift forward and shift back. Now remember, knees rocking, the key to knees rocking really is that finding of that even movement. Hands, knees, hips, and toes. And you can go faster, and you can get this to be really big as well. But ideally, it's just trying to find where your end points are. It also can be a baseline. You've got about 10 more seconds here. And then let's sit all the way back on your feet, and we're just going to nod the head. Make sure you look up and then down. And I want you to notice if you have tightness in your neck, the front of your neck, or in the back of your neck. And you're not trying to find your end point. You're just trying to notice certain things. Tightness in your neck can just be an indicator that there's some stuck stress kind of living, or some lymphatic that needs to be released. And then look over your left shoulder. Let's do a rotation. Eyes move. Look over your right shoulder. Look over your left. And then look over your right. You may even begin to feel easier to sit back in this kind of puppy dog position. Let's go back to knees rocking, and we're going to stick one leg out. So you're kind of finding that movement through the inner thigh. Eyes up, head up, and chest up. Keep breathing through that nose. Then notice if anything else kind of pops up. Are you finding any barriers? Knees, toes, hips, back, wrists, anything else? And see if we can find some kind of solutions through those through our mobility today. And then bring that leg in, and let's go the other leg out. So take that left leg out. Just get nice and long back towards the heel. Feel that length coming in through the inner thigh. And then come back in, and let's do a bird dog. Reach out, right arm and left arm and right. Always remember when you're doing bird dog, it's not the limbs that are just extending out of the joints, but it's the movement is originating in the core or the center line of the body, and the joints are just being allowed to extend. Couple more each side. Good. And then let's come back up, and I want you to recheck your baseline. So again, if you touched your toes, whew, if you took your arms up over your head, if you did a rotation, whatever it was, notice, and you're always lining it up to the original baseline, as well as you're looking for, really just kind of mostly looking for different. Better is great, the same is okay, but you're looking for different mostly, and better is obviously ideal. So let's go ahead and we're going to start right in with our movements. Go ahead and grab your kettlebell. And we're going to start with a 30-second goblet squat. We've got swings, and then we're going to do an overhead press. So we've got 3 movements of 30 seconds each. We have about a 15-second transition between the 3 movements. You can use the same kettlebell the entire time, or decrease or increase depending on your weight load. Let's start in 3, 2, and go. Go ahead and grab that kettlebell and goblet squats down. So you've got 30 seconds. Remember, your chest is staying high. Don't let the weight move, Karen. Keep that weight right up underneath your chin. Good. Well, make sure you can breathe, even though it's underneath your chin. Good. Nice, you guys. Watch that the chest doesn't drop, because remember, if you had a goblet and that weight comes forward, you're going to drop the weight out of the goblet. Good. And done. Go ahead and put the kettlebell on the ground. And let's set up for 4 swings. Starting in 3, 2, and go. You can do deadlifts or swings. Remember, you're moving from the hips. That's where the movement is initiated from. Make sure you're standing up. No pulling into your upper back. You've got 15 seconds. And done. You can put the kettlebell down and get a sip if you want. All right, let's go overhead presses. Sorry, I had to reset my timer. Starting in 3, overhead presses. 2, and go. Good. All the way up and down. Remember, when you go up, you got to tighten up those shoulders, tighten up those glutes. You tighten up those glutes, you're going to have more capacity in your upper back. All the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. You've got about 10 more seconds. And last one, all the way up and down. Good. So I want you to check your baseline again. I want you to see where that's at. We're going to check your baseline. Take your arms over your head if that's where your baseline was. Maybe it was touching the ground. Maybe it was a rotation. So find that baseline. Like my rotation, for some reason, not for some reason, because of movement, is better. I had more tension when we first started in my left oblique here. And then now that is gone. Let's get back to the ground, and we're going to do skiers for 1 minute. So skiers for 1 minute, starting in 3, 2, and go. Breathing, get those legs nice and long. You've got about 30 seconds. Think about that pinky nice and high, that reach through the back of the leg. Nice and long. You've got about 10 more seconds. And done. Go ahead and come on up. Now recheck your baseline again, because hopefully the baseline is even better that you mobilized. All the way down to the ground, whatever your movement is. Just recheck it. Ideally, exercise movement shouldn't make your movement worse. Sometimes we get kind of spent with movement, but essentially your movement should become the same and or better because of movement. All right, so the next set is going to be push-ups. You're going to do push-ups, you're going to do knees to opposite elbow, and you're going to do plank to, or inchworms, starting with 30 seconds. Push-ups, come onto the ground. We'll stay on the ground the whole time. Knees can be bent, or your legs can be straight. Starting in 3, 2, and go. 30 seconds of push-ups. All the way down. Squeeze those glutes. Keep your head forward. You've got about 15 seconds. Good, and then done. Come all the way back. We've got, then you're going to go knee to opposite elbow from plank. Let's start in 3, 2, and go. Knee to opposite elbow, plank. Bring that knee in, back to plank. Bring that knee in, back to plank. Work the rotation more than just going quickly. Roll those hips. And done. Good, now we're going to do inchworms in place. You can start from that plank position, starting in 3, 2, and go. Walk back towards your feet. Walk forward. Pause and plank. Walk back. Walk forward. So the nice thing about an inchworm, or what it really is helping you with, is shoulder stability, hip mobility, and done. Good. Sitting upright, nice and tall. We're going to finish with a seated windshield wiper, or if you'd like, you can go to a laying down windshield wiper. So either seated or reclined. Work that opposite shoulder. So even if you're up, your left shoulder should be pulling back as your knees go to your right. If you're laying on your back, your knees are into your chest, arms are at a T. 2 more each side. And last one, each side. Good. Go ahead and bring your knees in, come back up, and let's recheck that baseline. Reach down and touch your toes. Much better for me. Arms can be over your head. Rotate, if that's what your movement was. Even better for me there. And around. So from kettlebell class, it was really tight on Tuesday in my back and ribs because of the movements that we did. It felt good and strong, it just was tight. Now it's all kind of loosened up and gone away. All right, so we're going to do swings again, single arm rows, and step back lunges. So we're just gonna add to this a little bit more. We're gonna do 1 minute of each thing. So again, you can do less if you want or more. The things that are single arms are gonna be 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off. You can do single arm swings if you want to as well, or a single arm hinge for 30 seconds if you'd like. Let's start in 3, 2, and go. So you'll either swing two-handed for a minute. You could alternate and do single arm swings. You can do a single arm deadlift. Move those hips back. So if you're doing single arms, you're switching in 3, 2, and switch. Nice, you guys. 15 seconds left. And done. Woo, get them, it's a minute. Get a sip. We're going to do a single arm row. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds to the other side. When I say switch, just make that switch nice and quick. Starting in 3, 2, and go. Remember, body weight is over the ground parallel, not upright, or you're doing a bicep curl. "15 seconds. About 5 seconds. And done. Put the weight down. Switch your front leg. Hold that kettlebell, pull that shoulder back, and row with the other arm. Head up and chest up if you can. About 10 seconds left. And done. Good, get a sip if you want. We're gonna do alternating step back lunges for 1 minute, which means you can stay on one leg for 30 seconds, stepping back, or alternate. You choose. You can do it with weight or no weight as well. You choose. Starting in 3, 2, and go. Alternating step back lunges, or you can stay on the same leg for 30 seconds or as long as you want. Keep that head and chest up. 15 seconds here on that first 30 seconds. Keep that torso nice and tall. You've got 3, 2, switch arms or legs, alternating. Keep that chest up. Drop that back knee. See if you can get a little deeper. And done. Nice. Let's just cross crawl for our mobility movement. Breathing. Torso's nice and tall, chest is lifted. Keep that chest up. Think of how long and how tall can the body be. You've got 5 seconds. And last ones. Good. Recheck your baseline. Again, if your forward fold is getting better or your overhead extension is getting better, and we haven't really worked on either of those things, or your rotation especially, that's mobility creating reflexive strength and stability. All right, on the ground, we've got glute bridges, we've got chest press from the ground, and we've got dead bugs from the ground as well. Go ahead and lay back. If you need something underneath your head, grab that thing. We'll start out with glute bridges. Starting in 3, you can have that weight over your chest. 2, and go. Hips up and down. So notice on that glute bridge where it seems like you stop. Can you go just a half an inch higher? Can you pull your knees slightly apart and feel the glutes kind of turning on, in a sense, a little bit more? So you're not jamming your lower back. 1 more, and down. Good. You want to make sure that you are really just using your glutes to lift. Let's do that chest press from the floor. Elbows down, body nice and long, and press up and down. Push, pull that elbow back. Your left arm or the free side should be pressing into the ground. All the way up. You've got 15 seconds on this side. Nice and long. Press. Punch that sky without overreaching from the shoulder. You've got about 5 seconds. And last one. Good. Take that kettlebell overhead. Let's go to the other side. Again, we'll start in 3, 2, and go. Press up and down. Elbow drives into the ground. Tighten up that abdomen if you need to. If you're feeling like you're arching, just kind of keep the back level, not imprinted, just level. Almost there, and done. Good. Put that weight down, and let's do dead bugs. From your level, your position, you can have head down, arms alternating. You can have head up and lower back. You can have legs up. Just the key is to keep that pelvis slightly tucked. Woo! Got a little bit off. You got 15 seconds. You've got 5 more seconds. And done. Bring those knees into the chest. Roll to one side, and let's bring ourselves up. And let's recheck your baseline. Good. Take those arms up and overhead. Should still pretty good. Just real nice and warm. Take your hands down to the ground if that's for you. For me, that's a ton better. And then rotating around the torso. And that also feels a lot better across that midline stretch. So ideally you were better, if not different, by this end. So let's get onto the ground, hands and knees. Hands out in front, and we're going to start with a regular knees rocking. We're going to go to an elevated knees rocking, and then we're going to go to a side crawl, and then we'll finish with an elevated side crawl as available. Keep that head and chest up. Remember that knees rocking is really about connection. Connecting wrist, shoulder, elbow, spine bouncing, all those diaphragms inside the organs, knees and ankles. And then let's go to elevated knees rocking. Hopefully this feels stronger maybe than it normally does. You've got about 5 more. And last one. And then let's come down and do side crawls. So change your position and let's do side crawls. Make sure as you're doing those side crawls, your right arm is moving with your left knee and you're looking. You can look in the opposite direction or you can look in the same direction, but you're looking nonetheless. And last pass, go back to where you started. And we'll do elevated knees crawling. Now remember, with elevated, if that mouth opens, the knees need to come down. You've got about 5 seconds. And down. Good job, guys. Let's finish up with one last mobility check. Check those arms. Forward fold if that's there for you. And then let's come up and then let's come to a rotation. So everybody's in at a rotation. Nice and tall, chest is lifted, shoulders back. Let's do 4. Keep that mouth closed. 2 each side, and last ones. Good, just bring your hands forward and back. Take your arms up, swing your arms back, take your arms up, swing your arms back. Get that chest up, hold, almost lean back, elbows are slightly bent. Take a big deep breath in. Inhale through your nose again. This time exhale and come everything together through your mouth. And again, inhale, up through your nose, exhale, shh, through your mouth. Inhale, up, exhale, shh, inhale, up, exhale, shh, inhale, up, exhale, shh, through your nose. Inhale, exhale through your mouth. Last time, inhale, exhale, and then just roll those shoulders up, back, and around. Lift the chin. And then release. Good, and we are done today, guys. Done and done. Check your baseline through the day. See what makes your movement better. See what makes maybe more challenging, like sitting, or anything like that. Notice when things are getting hard. Just by sitting there or doing what you're normally doing, give yourself a chance to reset and get better. Have a great day, guys. I will see you, some of you, tomorrow and or on Monday. I'll talk to you later.